Of course, I feel very good within myself personally. The team's looking very good, looking very sharp the last few days, and we're looking for another opportunity for a bounce back win. Coming home in front of the fans, we're looking very confident going into the game on Saturday.
You have the chance to look the game from the back, and maybe you know the team better than anybody, but also the other teams in MLS are knowing your team. How do you feel about that? How they play for you, thinking of the first game, for example?
Going into these games, going into our 10th game, it gives teams a good opportunity to know us a lot better. We've put a lot of games together, put a lot of minutes together. They get to understand us, but it's also a good opportunity for us to understand them on a better level, seeing the results all across the league.
You're facing the team now for the second time, for the first time, right? So your prep, how much of it is the first time you faced them versus how they've changed from then till now? Like, what's the prep like different from other matches?
It's a better chance for us because we obviously played them before. They might have the same tendencies as they did, but that was also the third game of the season, I believe. We're going on the 10th game. They might have made some adjustments. We may have made some adjustments. So some of them could bring out the same tendencies, the same opportunities could come across. But we still have to be on our toes, and I'm sure they also have to be on their toes as well.
When you look at them, is there a difference from when you faced them the first time to what you've seen over the last few weeks?
Going forward, every team has evolved in their own ways. Every team's taking steps forward. So every chance that we get to play on a Saturday, they bring out different tendencies. Just as us.
CJ, what do you think about 6 goals in 2 games?
It's a tough pill to swallow, but there are peaks and valleys in football. There are always ups and downs. And like I said earlier, this is a good opportunity for us to bounce back and in front of the home crowd and to string along some good results. Hopefully some clean sheets, some low goals for us, and we're looking at this as a good opportunity for us going forward.
Does the home crowd really affect anything?
They do, yeah. We feed off of them and they feed off of us. Their energy feeds us, and they give us that added bit of support, that added bit of adrenaline. And they always bring such great energy in every single Saturday that we've played here. So they do make a big difference.
At the beginning of the year, we were talking about all this talent on one team, that chemistry that you guys have been working on. Can you just talk about, from the beginning of the season to now, and how much it's changed and, like you said, evolved as a team?
Every single week we come in, we learn a little bit new about ourselves, personally and collectively within everybody else. Whether it's personally within their family dynamics, within us as players, us as men, just us being able to learn about each other on a personal level, then translates onto the field.
Can you explain what goes through your mind when you're getting set for a penalty kick? Like, what from the time the ref spots the ball, like what are you trying to think through?
I kind of have my idea based off of their tendencies from previous matches and just gut instinct and that natural ability to see within their eyes and maybe get a look into their eyes and maybe have a better chance of getting into their head and then maybe seeing into their head. Really annoying two games in a row going the same side and not getting enough on it. But I don't feel nervous. I don't feel that pressure. All the pressure's on the field player because when you look at a penalty, they have to score it. 99.9% of the time they should be scoring it. So I kind of like to switch that back on and put that pressure on them still.
Do you is there anything that, whether you want to admit it or not, that you're trying to do psychologically?
I can't give up all my secrets. But they do give me enough based off of their body language and their previous tendencies. And then after that, it's just whether or not you can get into the guy's head and have little tricks up your sleeve.
As a goalkeeper, what can you say for Hirving Lozano? I know you have great teammates, but he's the franchise player. What have you learned from him, and how do you see him developing in the league?
No, I think I've learned a lot from him. Great player, great professional. He's played all over at such a high level, and you just see how he conducts himself on a daily basis, how he comes into training, gives his maximum every single day, how well he takes care of himself on and off the field. He has a high standard for himself and also for everybody around him, and he kind of just exudes that confidence within everybody.
And talking about great players, you were playing with Messi in Miami. How was that feeling when you left that team and left the opportunity to be near to him, and now compete against him?
I think it's a great thing to live out a dream like that. As a young kid, watching him every possible game, Champions League, international games, it was a dream come true to be able to share the pitch with him and all those amazing players. I wish nothing but the best for them in their season, and I still have some really great friends over there. But it was just an amazing dream to not just play with them, but also be friendly with them and to share a locker room with them and to observe greatness from firsthand.
Do you still have contact with him in the phone, social media?
No, I followed him since I was really young, so that's about the extent. Um, no, I can't say that I've really spoken to him. Um, I would love to get in contact with him again. Share an asado with him and all my previous teammates. That would be a great thing. But hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to see him again.